Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Enstars song bracket. Today we are going to be going over Crazy Bee and also some of the bonus songs. I guess I don't really say bonus, more like other. We're going to be going through some other on that list. So, let's see. First off, let's start off with Crazy Bee. We have the voting poll here. It's been a few days since I did the last 3 videos. I did the last 3 all in the same day. But, I will say, these last few days, I believe it's been like 2 or 3, have been going well in terms of voting. Honestly, voting is almost done. I think we're at like round 4 at this point. Whereas last time we were... I think we're at the beginning, if not the end of round 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're at the end of round 4, actually. And last time I made the videos, we were on the Eden section of round 3. So I'm already pretty ahead, because I was expecting on making videos every single day, and I'm still planning on making videos every single day. I was just busy over the weekend, and now that it is a Monday, I am completely free all day, so I plan on making a few different videos back-to-back. For this series specifically, and I may get into a couple other series that I'm working on, or I guess not that I've been working on, but I plan on making. There's one series that there's 2 series actually that I plan on starting, and then I'm hoping to continue the Paper Mario series as well soon, because some of you guys have been wanting me to still continue Paper Mario and Geometry Dash as well. And a couple of you have been wanting me to continue my actual Ensemble Stars gameplay. But the only issue thing is that my recorder is being weird, as well as my screen work thing where it's hard making it to where I can do commentary and record at the same time whenever I'm trying to screen share to my computer. Because for some reason my screen share is not working as well, so the last few videos I've only been able to do gameplay itself and not commentary. You guys have seemed to like that a lot more, but personally, I don't know. Some of you guys like the commentary, some of you guys like just the simple gameplay better. And especially that first video that I made, where it was just me doing a bunch of special difficulty levels. I know you guys really like that one. That is actually one of my most popular videos on the channel, is the one where I had no commentary and I was doing special difficulty, so I was thinking that, and then I uploaded another one with just commentary itself. That one didn't do as well, but it still, I think, did as well as my other Enstars videos, if not slightly better. And also, at the moment, I'm currently in the process of uploading the second video with Eden and Alkaloid. And so that one, at the time of recording this, that's what I'm doing. And either later today or tomorrow, I'm going to upload the third one. And I'm probably going to record the next couple of videos back-to-back today, just in case something comes up. Because a lot of random things seem to come up. That's why I just randomly go missing for a couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get out enough videos back to back to the point where if anything happens, I still have videos to sustain myself over that time period that I'm not able to make any videos. That's my plan. So like I said, I still have one other video, which is the 2 Ink and Valkyrie one, and then the one that you're watching right now, to sustain me over, just in case, but who knows if that's actually going to happen. But anyway, I've been rambling on for long enough, so let's go ahead and get into Crazy Bee. So starting off, I just wanted to point out, Crazy Bee as a unit used to be one of my favorite units in terms of songs in general, and lately I've been especially getting into their music songs. And so I've actually really come to grow onto those, especially the unit feature songs. Paranoia Street grew on me a while back. Noisy Beep did also, shortly after it came out. But I will say the music unit feature songs, so Honeycomb Summer, Yubisaki no Ariadne, Helter Spider, and Crazy Anthem, those specifically came to grow on me, a lot during the Crazy Anthem Climax event. And so those songs I will say right now, those are still some of my favorite unit feature songs. And the same came to me with Hade no Hi Sugar Wave during and Parallel Maze in the Rabbids climax event, but we'll get there later because Rabbids is much later. I guess not much later, it's like 2 later or whatever. Anyway. Also, another thing I'm going to point out about the special section is you may notice I have Rock Roar, Crush of Judgment, and Will Be Nights on there, even though those are not in the English server right now. And the reason I put them on there is just because I don't want to have, like, 3 missing from the set, because then it wouldn't quite make sense, I guess, per se. But normally I wouldn't be doing this. I'm just putting on there because it would just be a weird series to add on unless we had all of them. And I do know all 3 of these songs well enough to the point where I can add them. And I know the reason I'm adding these and not Luminous Crown is, yes, Luminous Crown is technically sort of within this guidelines of a series, but also at the same time it is a unit feature song that is JP only, so I still am not going to add Luminous Crown quite yet. Same going with Resurrections of Soul and Konjiki Senya Yume Butai as well. I'm not going to add those. Even though the Crossroads is technically part of EN now, so you could technically argue that Rock Roar, Resurrection of Soul, and Konjiki Senya Yume Butai are kind of on EN now just because they are on the English channel of the Enstars for the Crossroads season. You could argue that, but personally, I'm not going based off of that, so I'm just putting Rock Roar on here because of that, so it fits in with this whole past unit series. Personally, I really like the past unit growth and the way this works, and so, anyway, back to Crazy Bee, but I might as well just say that. That's kind of going to work as my intro for this next one, so you can just sort of slide right into it. So, to start off, I mentioned earlier that we have all 4 of the unit feature songs for music, and I personally think these are my favorite Crazy Bee songs overall. I mean, Crazy Roulette, don't get me wrong, is a very good and very iconic song for Crazy Bee, but I will say it's not as good, in my opinion, as these other 4, so with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and add all 4 of these up here, because all 4 of these did make it to the next round. And so to start off, I just want to say Honeycomb Summer had a very interesting style whenever it came out. Most people hate on this for being a summer song and not being near as good as some other summer songs like Coruscate Breeze. Personally, I like Honeycomb Summer better as a song. Do I think Coruscate Breeze is better as a summer song? Yes. But do I like Coruscate Breeze as a song itself better than Honeycomb Summer? Probably not. And that's all I'm really going to say about Coruscate Breeze, since that is very much down the line in the series. But Honeycomb Summer, I do agree, is a great song in general. It isn't as much of a summer song as I feel like it should be. If it had sort of the same background as some of the other summer songs, like Sunlit Smile, Coruscate Breeze, etc., I feel like it would work really well, but just being put on the same bland outside stage that a lot of other songs were put out on just doesn't really sit right, I guess, with me. I feel like they could have done a lot better to make the song feel more summery. Yes, it is outside, but so are other songs, like Rebellion Star, for example. And Rebellion Star isn't a summer song, so in my opinion, in terms of the actual setting, it's as much of a summer song as Rebellion Star, which is not really saying much. But in terms of the lyrics itself, yes, you can tell it's a good summer song, and even by the title itself. But like I said, I just feel like the actual MV doesn't feel super summery. And the only reason you could really argue that it is, I feel, is because you know it's a summer song. Making it in the outside setting just feels right, I guess. And it just wouldn't be right at all if they put it, like, inside. That would just be wrong, but, like, still. Next up for Yubisaki no Ariadne, I really love this song to the point where I think they should really do more songs like this with Crazy Bee, and I have to say the same thing about Helter Spider as well. Both of these songs work really well with the vocals, especially in Yubisaki no Ariadne. I really love the way the vocals go together. The actual song display fits Himeru very well, and I just love the way that it goes with his personality, his character trait, and at least what we know about him, because we don't really know, like, too much about Himeru. He's kind of the mysterious figure of Enstars. We don't even really know his real name, and I'm pretty sure during the Obligato series we did technically find out his last name, but I don't honestly remember what it is. I haven't read that story in months, and I probably should have, like, written it down, since it is a very important piece of Himeru lore, but I'm pretty sure we found out Himeru's last name whenever he was talking about his brother, because, like, they gave his brother's full name, and I don't remember, honestly, too much, but yeah. So that story was good for Himeru lore, and Himeru Tatsumi lore. Himeru x Tatsumi is another one of the big ships that I've seen, and I personally don't really see it. I mean, yeah, they get put together in terms of events, but the only time we really get to see any sort of romantic interaction, I believe, is in the romantic date story, whenever, like, they're in I think they're in an alleyway together or something. That's, like, the only romantic-like interaction we really get in between the two, from what I remember, at least. But anyway, enough about Tatsumi. We've already talked about Alkaloid. But anyway, Yubisaki no Ariadne just fits Himeru very well. And I will say right now that they need to do more songs like this, and songs like Utakata Dance Floor, which is Himeru's other feature song for people who don't play JP. It just doesn't, it's not the same. Yes, Himeru's voice kind of works well with the song, but I just feel like it's much better in Yubisaki no Ariadne, and I feel like Utakata Dance Floor doesn't even really compare to Yubisaki no Ariadne, just because of the way that it works and how well it fits his personality. Like, if we look at the card and we look at some of the scouts he's been in, like Romantic Date, for example, we can just compare the two and see that they seem very similar in terms of, like, the style or the sort of perceivage that we're getting from this. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word here and it's not coming to mind, but you get what I'm trying to say. Anyway. Casually just makes up a new word. So, for Helter Spider, this is my favorite Halloween song, and as I mentioned way back when, or not way back when, but last episode in the Valkyrie section, Koyo Itsugi no Yakata ni Te very much grew on me, and it used to be my favorite Valkyrie song, or not my favorite Valkyrie song, my favorite Halloween song until Helter Spider came out, which I guess wasn't that much after, because it really grew on me around when Raisanka came out, and whenever that special for Koyo Itsugi no Yakata ni Te, I don't honestly remember when Raisanka actually came out, but I feel like it was, like, not too long before Helter Spider, so it only got, like, a couple of weeks to shine. But I really wish I grew on this song before, so that way I could actually, like, get into it, because this song was really good, and I really like the Mika vocal lines on it. But enough about that, because, once again, Valkyrie is past. Helter Spider. I really love the way this song goes, and it's basically a sort of EDM kind of twist of a Halloween song, and it just makes it so much better, because if we look at something like Ghost Treehouse, we get a song that feels more Halloween-like, but it's also a very traditional sort of style, and it feels like the spooky vibe that we get from it, whereas Helter Spider, on the other hand, which is literally the next song that came after it for Ghost Treehouse, Helter Spider is a completely different thing. You get Crazy Bee over here, who are their very, what's the word I'm looking for, like, strange selves, I guess. They're interesting, because we have people like Rine and Himeru who have very similar vocals, and then we have Nikki and Kohaku who have fairly similar vocals, but are on the complete end of the spectrum, or the complete other end of the spectrum from Himeru and Rine, because Himeru and Rine both have very, like, not very, but, like, a lot deeper voices than Nikki and Kohaku, and so whenever we compare them, they just, I guess, I mean, they work well, but, like, it's just weird to think that they work so well being so different. And personally, something that I've noticed is that Nikki was the 4-star back-to-back with both Himeru's event and Kohaku's event, which, don't get me wrong, Nikki's lines in like some of the choruses for both of those were really good. I'm not gonna lie, I really like those choruses lines for both of those songs. And this in the last chorus, whenever Nikki had that solo line, it was so good. Both of them actually being replaced by He-Meter in the first chorus. I just now thought about that. But anyway, I just really personally like the way that the vocals shine. And the bridge sort of takes it back to that spooky feel. So I'm glad that they did include that. But personally, the chorus just feels so good compared to something that we'd normally get for Caustic Treehouse. Now, for Crazy Anthem, at first this song was not really that great in my opinion, and then during, like, as the event progressed, this song progressively got better. And I especially like the chorus and the bridge pre-chorus, not the actual bridge, but like the pre-chorus coming right before the last chorus after the bridge. Anyway, whenever they're like sitting in the car at night, that little like calming pre-chorus that was the same sort of, actually it was the same as the like the intro to the song. I honestly don't really know where that would fall under like a music or like a verse or song section category. I don't really know what you would call that, to be honest, because I wouldn't really call it a pre-chorus, honestly. It's not the same as the pre-choruses. It was actually the intro to the song, but it came later. So I don't know. I feel like it would fit into the same sort of style as we talk about with the English section of Moonlight Disco, because it appears towards the beginning of the song, but it also appears after the chorus. And so it's not really... I don't know. Someone, that's going to be the comment thing for today. Someone let me know down in the comments what you would call that part of the song, with the English section of Moonlight Disco and the intro and pre-chorus section where they're sitting at night in the car for Crazy Anthem. Please let me know what that would be called in terms of, like, the section of the song. Anyway, those 4 songs I had a lot to say about, which kind of took a lot more time than expected, but we're in for a ride today, so... Anyway, next song on the list, we have 3 more. And I'm confidently happy with these choices. I just realized I didn't include that. Alright. Wow, that song didn't even get added onto the... Okay. I guess I didn't realize that one of these songs didn't get added on to the next round. I thought that one made it. Alright. Well, anyway... the next song that's going to be added is Risky Venus. This song, I really grew on me whenever the special came. And songs that didn't... I mean, I guess I was here for whenever the song came out, so never mind. I just didn't really get into it as much. But I feel like whenever a special releases for the songs, especially when it comes for like a... Actually, this wasn't a single exclamation point era, because Crazy Bee didn't exist in single exclamation point era. So... we're going to call it a Live Fest era song. That's what I like to call it whenever I don't call it a single exclamation point song, just because that doesn't include Alkaloid and Crazy Bee. And like something like Kiss of Life, Crazy Roulette, Be the Party Bee, Your Speculation, Risky Venus, that kind of thing. Those songs fit into the Live Fest section category. So, and they don't fit into the single exclamation point. That's when I include those two, whenever I'm talking about that. So, but yeah, anyway. Whenever it comes to Live Fest section songs, I feel like the special event that comes with it, or like the leaderboard live challenge, whenever it comes into a live challenge, that one I feel like the song grows on me just because I play it a lot, and I feel like it just gets to have that opportunity to where I listen to it a lot and to where it can grow on me. Now, this song kind of fell off for me after a while just because I haven't listened to it as much. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's not my favorite anymore. Not compared to something like Helter Spider or Crazy Anthem, because the Risky Venus Live Fest came, I believe, a few months before Helter Spider released, back whenever Noisy Beep got added, and so I feel like it kind of fell off. I personally really like the special because it challenges me, and I still can't do that all-arrow section, similar to the all-arrow section in Koyoi Tsukinaya Katanite, even though that one's slightly easier, but still. So the next song we have on this list, this one's another one, like I mentioned back with Hysteric Humanoid. I don't quite understand why they added these two first before the other ones. But with that being said, we have Noisy Beep. This song I really got into whenever the song first released on EN. Now, at this point, I didn't actually have the JP server, not until around whenever, I want to say, like, Trap For You released. I didn't get it until, like, October. I don't honestly remember. But yeah, I didn't get it until around, like, October-ish for JP server. I think. Honestly. So Noisy Beep was already way out. And I will say, I actually got into learning Noisy Beep whenever it released, whereas Hysteric Humanoid I didn't actually learn until, like, a few months down the road. And I had a big break from Enstars in between months of August and, late July and, like, early August. I came back to Enstars whenever the Vermilion event came out. And I stopped around, like, a little bit before the Romancing Cruise event came out. And that was just because I had a lot of stuff going on in terms of life things. Nothing extremely serious, just busyness, I guess. Same, you could say, around, like, March through April, I guess. I don't know. I stopped in between Make You Denshi Cairo and Turbulent Storms event, even though I really wanted to play the Turbulent Storm. I just couldn't at that time. And I came back during the Twilight Pentagram event. So I was only gone for a little bit, and I was only actually gone during the event that I was basically, like, the most excited about overall. Anyway. But I feel like Noisy Beep just didn't... It's not really with me as much as it used to be. I did still vote for this song to come on, but I only used it as a 1, whereas songs like Helter Spider and Yubisaki no Ariadne, Helter Spider I used a 3 on. Yubisaki no Ariadne I used a 2 on. And I used my other 2 on Crazy Anthem, I believe. But yeah, so I feel like I typically gravitate more towards the music era songs more than anything. That just because I feel like they are better, mostly. I mean, you can get a good classic. Like, Koyo Itsuki no Yakata ni Te are one of those songs that you just... It's so good in terms of vocals, but I feel like the actual set just feels basic. Like, most of the actual, like, single exclamation point songs feel the same in terms of, like, the MV, just because they all take place on, like, the same 5 stages. The outside one, both day and night. The inside one, I guess there's 2 inside ones, I think. And then there's the dome one. There's the new one. I guess it's not new, but the newest one that takes place over the expansion, the first expansion series, and then a little bit of the other songs. Like, it was in Rainbow Circus and also in Polyphonic World, I believe. And I think it was in A Little Bit Up, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think every unit has a song in there, because Rainbow Circus has it. There's Welcome to the Trickstar Night. Ryu Seitai doesn't have a song on it, though. Not to my knowledge. Yeah. Ryu Seitai doesn't have a song on there. Interesting. And then lastly, well, those are actually the only stages that are here for EN, because they're later on they did add the stage that was added for the album trip, but that's not going to be out on EN for like another week. I am very excited about the album trip series to start. I am especially excited about getting the 2-Ink and Alkaloid outfits and the cards for them, because those are the 2 songs I like the most from the album trip series, personally. Don't get me wrong, I like other songs like Keep Out and Wonderful Happiness as well. And Not On a Summer Night Beat. I just don't know them as well as the other 2, just because I've known the other ones for a while. And I just recently learned Wonderful Happiness, and as of very recently I learned, well, not quite, but almost learned Keep Out. Anyway, that's all I really have to say, so let's go to the next song. The final song is an OG. It's iconic for Crazy B, Crazy Roulette. And I really like the special gameplay for this, especially since it's just all over the place and I love it. And I really don't want to ramble on too much because this video has already been going on for a long time just simply for Crazy B. So I'm going to try to cut this very much short for this description. And I kind of just wanted to do Crazy B today since I feel like I would talk a lot about the bonus episode in terms of what I would be doing with it and how much I want to say, because there's a lot I want to say over the others for like Eccentric Party Night, Genuine Revelation, Death Game Holic, Rock Roar, Crush of Judgment, Will Be Nights, Twilight Pentagram, and Dawning Angels. I have a lot to say about those. So personally, I just thought I would try to save an episode for them. I was gonna think about maybe adding in Undead, but then I was thinking, okay, well, I can just try to talk more about Crazy B since I probably have a lot to say, especially about the music songs. I didn't think I would have too much to say about the other ones, but clearly that's not true. And I don't know if you guys like listening to me talk about just Enstars things, especially related to the songs itself, but please let me know about that in the comments as well. I would really like to hear your guys' opinions on this, and if any of you guys disagree with any of the choices that I've made for this. And I just want to let you know that everything here is purely opinion. You guys can feel free to disagree with me in any way. And next time I actually might make another bracket tournament, not just for JP songs that I know as well. I might make one solely based off of what I have set up for. I might set up like some polls and then have you guys vote for them in the group or the community section of my channel and then see how that goes. Obviously, you guys will be able to see the final results before the video comes out, but if you want to wait and don't spoil yourselves, then feel free to check out the video when that's out. I might do that. I'm thinking about that. Let me know if you want that to happen as well. I know I'm asking you to do like 3 different things in the comment section. Just let me know what you guys think. You can just feel free to let me know, and I will be reading the comments as soon as I see them. And I do check very often. As soon as I see, pretty much every time I log on to YouTube, I check the notification bell to see if I get any comments on my videos. And so with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time for another episode of the Enstars Bracket. Bye-bye.